Silk, everyone. One of the stickiest, whitest, and most important resources around. And yet, we have never truly talked about it. Yes, this here is another one of them Gears or Thule site situations in which after years of making videos for this game, I have somehow failed to dedicate time to frickin' Silk of all things. But no worries though. I'm here to fix that. That said, I ain't gonna hold your hand, and I'm gonna be as quick as I can. So listen up. But in short, we need spiders. Now, you might be surprised where a spider den happens to generate, but we're gonna deal in absolutes here today, so our forest biomes are gonna be a great starting point. But swamps can be a great location to visit when in silky need as well, because chances are the tentacles will have already done all the work for you. But if your world spawns with a rocky lands in general, it might be a spider sanctuary version, so there's that. Oh, and perhaps you'll get a Queen's Gathering set piece at some point too, so keep an eye out. But spiders live in the caves as well, folks, so don't forget about cave spiders and their stalagmite dens down in the stalagmite terrain biomes and or red mush tree forests here. And finally, dangling depth dwellers are a thing too, and are very common in blue mush tree forests, the highly dense, highly dangerous village biomes, the twists and turns of the labyrinth, and even the dark halls of the atrium. In summary, spiders be everywhere, and every spider type has the same 25% chance to drop a single piece of silk. So do you see where I'm going with this? No? Well, I'm simply trying to tell you that there are many opportunities to encounter and handle spiders within this game, and there's no reason to complicate things either. Find a nest, lure out the spiders, fight them yourself safely off the webbing, mind you, or just kill them instantly with traps in the same fashion. Repeat until nest is depleted, and then destroy the nest for even more silk. Yes, it is actually that simple at the end of the day. But since I know folk will ask, some easy spider and thus silk farming methods are pigment and or bunnyman placements near even a single den for just constant loot if handled occasionally. Winona players can really benefit from having many nests planted together with the help of impassable walls and their catapults, and Weber players can simply turn spooter on spooter whenever they wish to for laughably easy spider loot at the end of the day. Folks, you have options galore for both finding and farming spiders. Far too many to get into today. So do what's best for you. But Beard, that's not true. That's just for surface spiders, isn't it? No, not at all, really. Just as we can trap the spiders up above, we can do the exact same frickin' thing with the ones down here. Heck, it might even be easier to do, actually. Just listen up, however. Since cave spiders themselves really only come from stalagmites, and stalagmites are non-renewable, plus they don't actually hold that many spiders, mind you, they are not our best options, especially as stalagmites only drop 2 silk at most on occasion. So instead, turn to dangling depth dwellers for any silk needs here in the caves. Then again, I don't know why you would have to default to dangling depth dwellers. However, they are far more abundant. Their nests can never be destroyed, actually. Said nests can also be in some less dangerous biomes like our blue mush tree ones, for example. They respawn rather quickly, and they can still be instantly killed via traps. Plus, webbed blue mush trees will constantly spread for as long as one remains, so they could be a continuous source of potentially 3 silk each forever. So yeah, I guess I do see the pros. Still, the surface spiders might be easier to handle. But let us move on to some more silk sources here, like the spider dens themselves, because I didn't really tell you what they drop. So just note how stage 1 drops 2 silk, stage 2 4 silk, and stage 3 6, and that it will take only 10 to 20 days for den to even reach stage 3 in the first place, so that's great. Oh, but if you are a Weber, you can actually upgrade them faster, mind you, with, yup, you guessed it, silk. But give them a little more time as a tier 3, and they might even turn into a spider queen for ya, who can potentially just serve up spider after spider for you for roughly 1.5 days until she herself returns to a tier 1 den. But still, it's technically a spider farm of sorts, just a natural one if you know what I mean. Plus, she herself drops 4 silk at the end of the day. Tumbleweeds have a whopping 1% chance to drop some silk for us folks. Giving gifts and foods to catcoons even gives them a chance to spit out some sticky stuff for us. Relics down here in the ruins can provide silk, but only the vases, mind you, because relics are just super weird. And finally, stage 1 of Weber's silky smooth beard will yield 1 silk if he shaves it right then and there. Stage 2 will offer us 3 silk if you wait just a little longer. And be sure to have just a little more patience, and his full-length beard will give us 6 silk each shave. And Weber's beard grows faster than most others around. So bonus points there. But now it's time to fire through all the reasons why silk is so dang important, everyone. Like how it is needed for fishing rods here. But 2 twigs and 2 silk for 9 fishes is insanely efficient given how amazing fish is in this game. So don't count these rods out. The same could very well be said about sea fishing rods, even though ocean fishing is a little more involved than simply pond reeling and dealing. But given how a sea fishing rod has 0 durability, you gotta believe that 6 silk is more than worth it. 2 silk, 4 twigs, and 1 rope for a bug net is highly worth it too, as a bug net has 10 uses each and can be used to catch butterflies for their wings or for their ability to be planted for additional flowers, mind you. A bug net helps us capture bees/killer bees for bee box crafts that can lead to honey production or for some boss cheeses here and there. And even fireflies can be caught within a net for light refueling purposes and then some. Yup. Definitely worth its weight in silk. But silk can also help us capture some rats with wings as well with bird traps. 4 silk for the ability to bait traps, capture birds, lock them in cages following, and then have them produce eggs, guano, and or crop seeds for us for forever essentially? Count me in. Enjoy 8 uses per trap to boot. Next comes the use of but 6 silk, 4 pig butts, and 2 rope for the piggyback, folks, aka the poor man's Krampus sack. It offers 12 inventory slots at the cost of minus 10% speed. However, but a simple walking cane easily counters that, so I say it doesn't really matter all that much. It is a great backpack to rush early on. So find them spiders. But do you need a rest after all this? Build a tent with 6 more silk and some other junk for a passive regeneration effect of +2 health and +1 sanity every second at the cost of it having to be dusk and or night, plus our hunger. Oh, they'll also keep us relatively dry and warm too, so there you go. But if you prefer to sleep during the day, mind you, then invest but 2 silk into a Celesta lean-to here for roughly the same stat regenerations, mind you. However, a lean-to actually costs less hunger to use and keeps us cool instead. Your choice, but why not both? 6 silk also goes into our top hats for some sanity regeneration, wetness resistance, however more importantly, our Prestidigitators. And Prestidigitators give us access to tier 1 magic crafts, so silk for the win there. Our fashion show continues, however, with winter hats that will cost 4 silk and 4 beefalo wool and will provide 120 points of winter insulation as well as some small sanity per minute gains. Good stuff, and a go-to for easy, early winter prep. Puffy vests also cost silk and beefalo wool, but in greater and lesser quantities, mind you. However, they also require a winter koalefant trunk, so there's that. Still, make the craft for more sanity gain and 240 winter insulation this time around. Some of the highest there can be. One could make a breezy vest too with but a regular koalefant trunk and silk. However, it drops winter insulation all the way down to 60, mind you. Still, some sanity regeneration and wetness resistance could help some out there. The cat cap is next and has become cheaper over time, now only costing 1 cattail and 4 silk. However, it still only provides 60 points of winter insulation, so there's that. Its 3.3 sanity per minute gain effect, however, ain't too shabby. A dapper vest can be made via 8 hound teeth and 6 silk, and while it's also pretty bad at what it's supposed to do for us, It is needed to create the hibernation vest, mind you, so make note, as the hibernation vest is pretty dang good. Umbrellas are darn good too, so be sure to invest a measly 2 silk into one for 90% resistance to wetness and 120 points of overheating protection come summertime. 2 birds, 1 stone sort of deal here. Very nice. Beekeeper hats are next, and at the cost of 8 silk and 1 rope, one can begin taking 20% less damage from every single bee in this game, including the bee queen herself and her minions, mind you. Good stuff. And at the end of the day, a sewing kit here could be ready to repair most of everything I've just shown you here at the cost of 8 silk itself. Note that the numbers at the right here equal 1 repair each. To continue, however, silk is also needed for floral shirts, and will help give us 240 points of overheating protection, along with a decent sanity regeneration effect, as you can see. Just note that they don't last very long, especially during summer at the end of the day. A laughable amount of silk is also needed for boomerangs here that can help us one-shot smaller mobs like birds or rabbits, get the attention of runaway mobs like koalefants, or just simply help us aggro on to some other mobs from afar. It's great stuff, if I'm honest. A Glossamer saddle costs 4 silk along with a whole mess of other stuff, and will lead to us having our fastest beefs around, essentially. So make note there. We need 8 silk to complete mass kits for our boats to make our boats move even at a decent pace. So I would amass all the white stuff you can for these things for sure. Oh, especially when you'll just be needing even more silk for massed upgrades down the line to begin with, as feathery canvas requires the stuff. Weber players need 12 silk to make their very own spider dens, so make note there. Willow players who want a Bernie at the ready at all times really will need 2 silk for additional Build-A-Bears whenever they want. Walter players who don't want to see all their sanity gone in an instant after but a few hits will need more Pine Tree Pioneer hats, and would y'all frickin' believe it, everyone, they require silk too. And last, but certainly not least, is Winona's trusty tape. It is essentially a sewing kit, but way cheaper, mind you, and it goes into all of Winona's engineering crafts, so it is hugely important and very useful, actually. But there you have it, everyone, and oof, that was a lot, and it was shortened to begin with. Listen, I don't think you all need me to say another word about silk here. Ya get the picture. It is frickin' essential, arguably. Thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all. Beware but embrace the sticky white stuff. And I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.